Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a little bit more intriguing news coming out over here from the next big upcoming thing when it comes to PlayStation. Now, we've actually touched on this a little bit throughout this week, and when it comes to basically the PlayStation and PlayStation Network coming to PC, it does kind of seem like, well, first and foremost, it's already been happening, because we've seen a lot of games already have very good success. We also did most recently have the brand new Spider-Man game that was also recently released too as well. On top of that, but as well, there's also a few other cool things in regards to the launcher, in regards to the brand new website, and as well some very peculiar job listings now that we're watching here from PlayStation. So we have some pretty nifty, cool stuff when it comes to the future of gaming. Future of gaming's coming, and a lot of cool little websites and things like that to go and show you guys from the official Sony site themselves. So I'm pretty hyped up for this. I'm pretty excited for this, and I do think this is really where the future of gaming and PlayStation should go. So definitely throughout this video, give me your thoughts and comments, because I hope you guys all also agree with me. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for all the gaming news, restock news, and all that. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. We also do have the brand new How link for the awesome brand new Samsung monitors. You guys can go and save a bunch of free money on those if you want to sign up for those. Link down below. We have the Target links too as well, and all that good stuff, and let's dive in here. So if you guys missed this, we'll kind of touch on this really quickly, but basically we had a big PlayStation notice. We touched on this before, where there was a PlayStation PC launcher that may have actually been fully discovered in the Spider-Man PC. Now, this is a little bit more different than what we talked about before. What we talked about before is that there was a syncing to the PlayStation Network and potential for PlayStation PC syncing with the PS5 and Sony accounts. Now, this is somewhat of a slightly different thing, but as well probably somewhat in the similar side. But now there's a new reference to the PlayStation PC launcher that's been discovered in Spider-Man PC. This follows the discovery of the references to PSN account linking. So as I mentioned, we had the initial batch of new news before. Now that kind of tied into like, oh, it's going to have some tie-ins, going to have some maybe API plugins, have a chance to like utilize crossplay or carry over games or cloud launchers and all that. Now, this either supports that on its own a lot, or is just a completely different thing. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of multiple launchers, but we also do already have the fact that Xbox has their own, so this is intriguing to see. So Sony could soon introduce its own launcher for its PC games, following in the footsteps of Ubisoft, Rockstar, Activision Blizzard, Xbox, and all these other various platforms. References to a PlayStation PC launcher now have been found within the files of Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, which launched on PC last week, suggesting that such a platform could be in Sony's future plans. VGC has verified the files and seen the reference to the PlayStation PC Now launcher. So there's a lot more merit to this, because that means that they literally have the internal files. So that means either that it will be referenced and utilized in a future PlayStation update, like say like for if they actually launch this, then these games may relaunch and use similar files to launch through that. Or if you guys have seen, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but maybe how it would work is that you launch it say through Steam or Epic Games Store, and then it would sync with your PlayStation overall network account, which would also tie into what we talked about yesterday too as well. So this actually does follow the discovery that Sony could be planning to introduce the PlayStation Network, as we talked about yesterday. So while neither Marvel's Spider-Man nor any other PlayStation Studios PC game currently allows connectivity with PSN accounts, Spider-Man's files contain multiple references to the PSN account linked and PSN linking entitlements, which is why we keep on mentioning this, because the files are physically there. Now, I'm not sure if this is a hiccup or Sony doesn't really mind or is like an oversight, but a lot of folks have been thinking about this. Thus far, all of Sony's PC games have been released just on Steam and the Epic Games Store. While PlayStation has a PlayStation PC brand, it is generally used as a collective term for all PC re-releases rather than its own individual launcher. It's possible that these references could suggest a bespoke version of the PlayStation Store could come to PC. This, coupled with the references to account integration, could eventually lead to cross-purchasing for titles on PS5 and PC. So that's a big thing right there too. Because let's go and say you can literally just go buy any game you want, and you could play it either on PC or play it on PS5. For someone like me, I would love that. I have already bought like Spider-Man and Miles Morales on my PS5. So do I want to play it on PC? In all honesty, not so much, because I don't want to have to rebuy a game that I could pretty much play with pretty similar graphics and kind of enjoy. Although my PC is slightly better, it's not really worth it for me to rebuy it because the play experience is pretty similar. And also when it comes to Xbox, any Game Pass saves, game file saves, cloud data saves, and also past games too as well, typically do also work and do correspond. So I kind of like this. I like the idea if this is what they push for, because why do you have to rebuy the game twice? If anything, how about you just go play it on whatever platform you want, because it's all collective at the end of the day. So yeah, this is awesome. It's possible, those references could suggest this too as well, as we just mentioned with the integration to cross-purchasing. I'm down with that. Give me your thoughts on that, especially down below. I love that. So it's unlikely the first party would keep its games exclusive to this launcher. While Microsoft offers its games on its own store, it also does release the games on Steam. Now, I'd probably go and assume they'd probably do all three too as well, of really, really big game departments on Steam, and this kind of does have an ever-growing amount on Epic. And don't forget that PlayStation does have a pretty big stake in Epic as well, so in theory, if the Epic Game Store does well, or they sell more games, it's basically double dipping. They get their cut from Epic Game Store, and as well their investment, because they are shareholders in Epic, would also technically improve, and the company will make more revenue and money, and would in theory be worth more money, and then after all that's all done, then Sony themselves from their own investments would also make more money. However though, some publishers such as Rockstar require a reduced version of the launcher client to be active, even launching a game from Steam as a means of verification. Now, I'm not really the biggest fan of that, though, because it does just add more bloatware to your PC and stuff like that, but this is actually really cool to see. So last year, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan said that PlayStation was planning to bring a whole new slate of games to PC, and so far it has, because we've also have a brand new website, if you guys have not had a chance to see this too as well, for where they're kind of showcasing up all the PlayStation games for PC. Explore a range of acclaimed titles in the PlayStation Studios, now available either on PC via Steam or Epic Games Store. And they have a lot of these, such as God of War, the very first one, Spider-Man Remastered, which we've been covering a lot. We also have the Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, Helldivers, Predator Hunting Grounds, and a lot more. And as of right now, they do have the individual links of, say, buy on Steam, buy on Epic Games Store too as well, and also they have a big promotion for both Steam and Epic Games Store, with also a pretty big FAQ too on top of this as well, just in general. So basically they're trying to be like, hey, just follow the Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to see and find out more. Here's all the PlayStation Studios logos, as you guys can see, and they do have the official brand new website that are out here for this. They do also have a few more coming soon, such as Miles Morales coming to PC in fall of 2022, and then also Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection as well, coming to PC. Now, we don't have anything super crazy or newer, because these are technically just older re-releases, but it does kind of make sense to get their catalog being pushed to PC and people could utilize it and enjoy it, and as well, it also makes sense too because they still probably want to be selling PlayStation consoles and making money off of that. So the fact that they can sit on this, kind of slow crawl up the release, get the stock picked up, let people get excited that these games are actually coming to PC. Because obviously, if I'm even talking about it, that means it's been kind of floating around the Twitterverse, gamingverse, and reviewverse as well. And I think it's really cool to see. Because also one last thing to note is there actually was a really interesting job offer. Now, this job offer was specifically for PC specialization, for lack of better terms, or basically someone that is able to go bring the PC games or PS5 games to PC, putting into the development, putting into the market, Steam, Epic Game Store, and also knowing which games to move over, when to move it over, and all those other various features too as well. Now, in my mind, I think this is cool, because this is pretty much PlayStation entering to the next era of finally getting with the 21st century and releasing games on PC. But the fact that the job listing that they needed is now officially gone, you guys may not be able to see that hopefully, but if you guys can, the job you are looking for is no longer available. If you guys want to get hired from Sony, there's a huge bajillion different amount of games too, obviously. But when it does come with all this type of stuff, there is a, now filled hole when it comes to PlayStation. And this pretty much means the PlayStation launcher is probably in the works, especially if they're updating websites and also doing all these brand new files inside of games. I do think this future is looking pretty nice and pretty good for when it comes to the future of all of our games. So I'm going to talk about this, release this stuff, and at the end of the day, I'm pretty hyped up for it. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Are you guys excited for Sony coming to PC? I'm kind of hyped up myself. As well as make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have all the other links down below, especially the How link. Click on that and check that out and get your free $100. The Twitter and Twitch room down below. I will maybe be even playing some Fortnite on Twitch if you guys are bored. And also go check out all the other little things too as well, such as Target stores and Amazon links down below.